Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome to Budget Brush Spray Test. We've got a cheap, and I mean cheap airbrush. This is listed at, well at the time it was £15, but I think you can get these for around about £10. So it's like near on the cheapest one that I can get. We're going to chuck some thin paint down its neck, low pressure. We're going to test it, see what it can do, and I'm going to give you my honest opinion on a absolute budget brush, on what it can do, how it feels, the response, everything about it as we paint with it. So let's move in a little bit closer and test the budget brush. Right, let's begin. Let's begin the torture. Not for you, because you got to watch it. For me, using it. Right, we're going to drop some paint in. So we're going to do some tests. We've got 20 psi on this cheap brush. Now, there's the dots, you know, dot to dots. We've got them down. It's doing it. If that's focusing on that, it's done it. Lines. Oh, we've got the tiny lines. Look at that. The £15 airbrush is going good. Look at that. Boom, look at what this £15 airbrush can do. Point to point dagger strokes. Boom, look at it go. Is it a £10 brush he's got in his hand? Or is it an Iwata? No, it's a £10 brush. I'm just making it look like it's a £100 Iwata in my hand, you know? Yeah, this thing will do it, you know. Boom. Off the bat, let's just do some little dots in there. There you go. Responsive. Look at the response on that brush. I know you're all saying, he's got an Iwata in his hand. We can't see the label, he's hiding it. No, it's a 15, that's cheap Chinese brush. But it's doing the job, you know. It's doing it. I'm making it do it. A beginner would be, oh my word, oh what, oh look, the paint's clogging, me emulsion's stuck in there. Then he goes and chucks a load of cleaner down it. He goes and chucks a load of solvent down it to clean all the emulsion paint, cheap paint that he's got that's gone in the cup. And then it melts the front end because it's not a solvent-proof O-ring on this, it's a rubber one. And eventually that melts and sticks to the nozzle and it just won't spray. And that's when you throw it in the bin. Because the beginner doesn't know what it's about. He doesn't know what front head assembly's on it or how it's made, you know. And that's where they go out and they buy another one and then buy another one and buy another one. And it's like, this is where you go down the line of when you're starting out, you're wasting money. You know, if you've got 100 quid to spare, that's the price I'm doing for a full day class, where you will get taught properly with a brush in your hand that is quality. And I would rather, if I was starting out, and I'd done exactly the same thing, and that's how much I paid on my class. And I think that's really reasonable. You're not going to get a one-to-one airbrush class with a teacher for that price anywhere. You're really not, because everyone's in it to make money. I'm in it to give people a fair price to learn a skill, and that's exactly what the teacher did with me. It was a fair price and he was given his knowledge, and I walked away, I was fried, you know. It felt like I'd just done the London Marathon in my mind, because it was like so much to take in, but I walked away with so much knowledge, and then just started my journey knowing what to do, knowing how to break that brush down, troubleshooting. It taught me all that from the start, and that's what you need to learn from the off. You need to learn all that, and then your journey becomes a lot easier. So the £15 brush, these are about a tenner now. You know, it's doing it. I can get it to do it, but you know, that little tiny dagger stroke, it's hit and miss. It's that 1 minute I've got it, next minute it's just, I've got that same movement on the trigger, but it's like it's a little bit hit and miss. And this is what you get with the cheap brushes. They're not as consistent as a decent brush. I mean, yesterday we did the Evo. Now, you know, you can look at both of them as a beginner and go, well, that looks as good as that. No, it's not. You know, when you just, I'm not gonna. I mean, can you hear that? That's the H&S. I'm moving the trigger next to the microphone. Can you hear that? No, because that's quality. Quality right there. That's an airbrush. That is mass produced, came over 10,000 in a shipping container across the ocean and then sold. You know, but it will do it. You know, I'm going to get the comments. Nothing wrong with a cheap airbrush. Everybody has to learn somewhere. I know we have to learn somewhere, but you know, I really want to guide you the right way with it on this channel and not send you down the wrong track. You know, I got guided the right way when I started out. It's only fair that you sort of, I'd like you to follow suit. Now, your journey just becomes an absolute nightmare. You know, life's hard enough. Throwing a hobby that you're really passionate about and going into and going down the hard way about it, well, it's not enjoyable, is it? So, back onto the £10 brush. Or is it a micron? You will never know. Look at that. We've got micron quality right there. Look at that. £500 micron? No. £15 Chinese special can do what the micron can do. Look at that. You know? So it works. So that's all I can say, guys. That's my look onto these. What you are going to get is, I mean, listen to this. I got this off the shelf, and the first thing I did was strip it down, and I put and I caked it in it. I put lubricate there, lubricated that, the spring, a bit on the trigger, bit at the back of the trigger. I thought, right, I'll do that, clean it before I start. And then this is the sound. This has been lubricated. This is the back taking the body off. Hear that? I mean, that is just the back bit. Then you've got your next bit where the chuck is in the little tensioner. And listen to that. You know. Is Dred Effects grating cheese, or is he undoing the back of a brush? It's like, that's horrendous. It's like, oh, it sounds like there's sand in there. Then you've got, I'll unclick the airline, then you've got, this is the sound of the trigger. That's the downward movement. So that's pressing the air valve down, and that's the backward movement. So yeah, if you've not got a stereo or a radio while you're painting, you're listening to this. It's like Chinese torture, isn't it? You know, it's like, whoa. I mean, listen to that. Oh, that would grate me. Just, I mean, then you do that, look at that. And then the needle, you'll get this quite a bit with these. You see that? Where it's permanently putting paint out. Because then they all bugger up. And, I mean, this is the noise of the needle coming out. Listen to that. And that's been lubricated. I put lubrication on that. That's horrendous. You know. So yeah, the first thing you need to do when you buy one of these is then go out and buy a £5 tub of grease to just keep it lubricated. It's doing that again, look, see? Instantly putting paint out, it's not seating on the front. Quick blowout, put it back together. And I don't want to push you down this route of going through this. I mean, I really don't. I wouldn't want you to go through the pain. I'm just thinking of you guys, you know, starting out, beginner. Airbrushing is a hard skill anyway. Why put something in your hand that's going to make it harder? Why? It's like, you don't see a surgeon that's going to go into a surgery and go, right, Mrs. Cooper, we're going to do the operation today. And these are the tools that I'm going to use. And he's got this blunt knackered scalpel and he's like, these are the tools. And she's like, what the hell? You know what I mean? You don't do it. You don't have, if you go into a profession doing something, you put something decent in your hand. You know. Oh, it's back on form. Look at that. Look at that performance. You know. Look at that. As I say, it's just not consistent enough. I mean, this is the cheapest brush that I've got. Oh, and I wouldn't even use it. I wouldn't even use it for putting paint down on a background because I couldn't put up with the sound of it doing it. So that's my look into it, guys. So there you go. What did you think to my micron test panel? It was a micron, really. I was just fooling you. It was a superimposed brush in my hand. No, that was the cheap brush. That was that brush that's on the screen. 15 quid. I think they were down to a tenner in the end. Now, it worked. I got it to perform. But as I say, it's that, for me that's been airbrushing for some time, I can pick all these brushes up and I can make them sing and dance like this. And you get to see it. Well, look at it, it must be good because he can do this with it. Yes, I can do this with it, but the beginner will struggle with it because they've not got the dial painting that I've got. They're not refining it to like, yeah, I can get it to perform. I'm going to show them how it can perform. I can get it to do that. Buy it, buy it, buy it. I don't want you to buy it. I really don't want you to buy it. I'd rather you do a class and put your money to good use and learn with something quality. So if you come for a class, you'll be going down the same path as I did, and I really appreciate what I went down that path. I really do, because I got one of these in my hand, the original, and learnt with that. And I would rather introduce you to airbrushing with something quality in your hand, and then you'll go, oh, you will get the feel of it instantly. And this is what I'm on about. You pick it up a lot better with something better in your hand. You really do. I went into the airbrushing, and as I say, the teacher, right, this is your brush for the day. And it was like, I didn't know that was a quality brush. I knew it when I picked it up and thought, that is nice. You could tell by the feel. When you pick that up, you heard it. It didn't sound like I was holding an airbrush against the mic. It just sounded like I was grating cheese or preparing dinner with something, you know. So I really don't want to push these towards you. I really don't. I'd rather, if you are an absolute beginner and you are coming into this and really want to get into it, do a class. If you're in my local area or nearabouts, I'm doing a real good price on a class where you'll get a one-to-one in this studio. I'll put a decent brush in your hand and I will show you stripping of the brush, because that's the first thing you need to learn. I'll show you how to strip a brush, rebuild it, how to maintain it, what parts to clean, everything about it. And then we'll move on to something like this. I will teach you how to get control of the trigger, show you paint mixing and things like that. So you know exactly what to do when you walk out that door. You can then go, right, Amazon, or Facebook sales. There's a good brush, that's a good price. I'll have that one, I'll have that compressor. I'm going to go with that line of paint. Thank you very much, Dred Effects. You've sent me on the journey the right way, and that's the best way to do it. It really is. You'll just end up buying kits, buying cheap paints, throwing money and money and money at all these cheap ass brushes that will give you a headache. They really will. And the cheap paints are a nightmare. Even if you're starting out, you know, I know we've got budgets, and I know we've not everyone's got loads of money to spend, but if I was in that boat starting out and I had 100 quid to spend, and I knew I could go on a class for a day for £100, I'd take that leaps and bounds all day long. And that's what I did. I went on the class for £100, and that's where I started. And I'm just really glad that I went down that route, because it showed me the right way to go. It really did. So I hope this has helped you out, guys. I know we've sort of ranted on and trying to push you into one of my classes.
Come to Dred Effects. I want your money, don't give it to Amazon, give it to me.
But no, it's just the right way to go. It really is. Don't struggle. It's a great journey to go down, a brilliant path. You'll enjoy it. You'll meet brilliant people along the way. You'll enjoy the artwork you're creating for people, and you get a buzz from creating pieces of artwork for people, and then you get to see your artwork at shows and things like that when you progress, you know. Then you eventually go into magazines on the wall. You go down that path, and you know, you enjoy it. I have so far. So yeah, thanks for watching. Drop your comments. I know there's going to be some. Drop your comments. Tell me your thoughts. I hope you've liked the video. Really appreciate all the comments, the feedback, guys. We are going to do a giveaway because we've gone over the 10,000 subs, and the giveaway is this brush. I couldn't even do that to you. I couldn't even do this as a giveaway and go, there you go. Thank you, subscribers. You can have the £10 brush. No, it'll be something decent. I'm going to do a giveaway with something decent, you know. I couldn't do it to you, you know. So yeah, cheers.